Hello, my name's Ian. I'm from Birmingham Ghost Walks. Thank you for joining us today. This time of year we'd normally be seeing lots of you for our Halloween tours, but not this year. COVID means that things have been very different and we've not been able to operate as normal. But I thought we can't let Halloween go past without at least checking in. So that's what we're doing. And where better to bring you for a little Halloween story than to a haunted house in the woods. Behind me you can see Great Bar Hall, and in the north of Birmingham, the suburb of Great Bar, close to where I live. Great Bar Hall has had quite an interesting history, really. It was built in the 1770s for a man by the name of Joseph Scott. The Scott family were very important landowners and business people and politicians in this part of the Midlands, and he had this house built for himself and his family. Now, he wasn't the only well-known person who lived there, because for a time the house was rented by a man by the name of Samuel Galton. And Samuel Galton, well, you may have heard of Galton Bridge at Smethwick. That was named after him. He was a Birmingham manufacturer and a member of the Lunar Society. And the Lunar Society, these great innovators and thinkers like Bolton and James Watt, Erasmus Darwin, Josiah Wedgwood, they came here to Galton at Great Bar Hall to hold some of their meetings. So between Galton and the Scott family, the house was occupied until the 1900s, the early years of the 20th century. And then the house was sold and it became a mental hospital. It was called first of all St. Margaret's Mental Asylum, but then it became known by what these days we think of as quite an offensive name, and it became known as the Great Bar Idiot Colony. For those of us who live in Great Bar, that's something to think about, especially people who live on the housing estate that now takes up part of the site. And until the 1970s, this was an asylum. And you have to imagine all the people living here at that time, the treatments that they would have been getting, the suffering and the difficulties that were going on here. So a lot of sadness associated with the building, despite its beginnings as a family home. And I began by saying it's a haunted house in the woods, and it certainly is. The house itself has had some strange things reported. Since it's been derelict, people have gone inside with and without permission. They've looked around and they've reported hearing voices, particularly the voices of women crying for help, even giving a cry of pain, coming from adjacent rooms. And when they've been through the old doorways to look, the house has been empty. People have also taken recordings in there, and when they've played them back, they've heard the sound of voices, particularly women's voices, very distinctly on the playback, but nobody was near them when they were actually in the house recording. Now, the ghost that has been seen most often here is a ghost of a woman wearing long flowing white clothes. She has been seen mainly outside the house, here in the woods, and particularly down on the other side of the woods by the lake. At various times when this was a hospital, a female figure was seen down by the lake, and they checked. They checked to make sure that all the residents, all the patients, all the staff were accounted for, and they were. And nobody could tell who the person was inside the property down by the lake. Some have said that it's the ghost of the original occupant of the house, Lady Scott. Others have suggested that it might be the ghost, the restless spirit of a former patient here at the asylum. We don't know for sure, but that ghost has been seen here many times over the years, and that's why I wanted to bring you here today to this haunted house here in the woods, Great Bar Hall. Now, I hope if you're doing something for Halloween this year, you have a great weekend, stay safe, and I hope to be able to see you soon, and as soon as circumstances allow us to do it safely, we'll be running ghost walks again and a range of other tours as well. So until then, all the very best to you, and we'll see you sometime soon. Thank you.